It's super, super, super simple. We have our honey, obviously. Get started here. Sugar. Shredded coconuts. And a dash of salts. Now these are your dry ingredients, okay? You're gonna wanna sift them up. If you don't have one of these, just grab a fork. So you just sift this stuff, make sure it's all nice and mixed. All right, okay. We've already separated out the whites of the eggs, the egg whites, and you're gonna want 4. Just pour them in there. Okay, and now a dash of vanilla extract. Because the coconut has a really light flavor, the aroma and everything of the honey really just shines through. It's awesome. So just keep doing that, moving it back and forth. Make sure the honey gets spread around. Okay, so it'll look about like that, right?
We need to cook off a tiny bit of the moisture beforehand. So when the mixture starts to sizzle, you'll know you're almost done. Then transfer it to a bowl until it's cool to the touch.
So, first things first, preheat the oven. Okay, preheat this guy. Now every oven is gonna vary a little bit, so just be aware. We're gonna set this sucker to convection and then 180 degrees. Temperature set. Take the cookie sheet out of here real fast. I'm gonna line this guy with wax paper. Makes it a whole lot easier to get the macaroons off while we wait for this guy to heat up. If you're really pressed for time while the oven is preheating, you can be doing this, okay? So, we've got our cookie sheet lined with wax paper, our bowl of water, and our macaroon mixture.
Wet your fingers before touching the dough. This prevents the mixture from sticking to your hands, which makes it easier to grab. Now you can place the mounds relatively close to each other on the cookie sheet because unlike normal cookies, macaroons hardly spread in the oven when they're baking.
Every oven differs. You want to cook them for about 20 minutes, plus or minus a couple minutes. What you're really looking for is the tops to become a nice golden brown, these little peaks that you see coming off each one. Yeah, nice and gold, nice and gold. So you really need to be vigilant in paying attention to it, all right? Stick them in there. "15 minutes, and we can relax."
As you can tell, the macaroons hardly spread, and when they are close to being done, they'll be a nice golden color. The aroma of toasted coconut and warm honey will have your neighbors knocking.
Oh, look at that, gorgeous. Stick these right here. As good as it is, I can even make it a little better. How? Dipping these bad boys in chocolate.
First step, double boil the chocolate. To do that, put some hot water in a large pan and bring it to a boil. Then, crumple up half your dark chocolate in a smaller saucepan and put that in the boiling water. Constantly stir the chocolate. It should melt into a nice, smooth, silky texture. Double boiling prevents the chocolate from breaking down too much over direct heat.
Okay, it's nice and thick, melted. Can't feel any chunks in there. You want to be, as you stir, feeling around, looking, and making sure that you don't have any thick, unmelted chunks. Okay, so we can set this aside for just a second. We want to keep this going though in case we need to heat it up a little bit while we're dipping. And we want to stick the other half of our chocolate in there. Oh, glorious. I love it.
By doing this, we're tempering the chocolate. It'll harden once it's cooled at room temperature, giving the chocolate that nice, smooth, and glossy look. Ain't science grand?
Okay, there we go. And stir it, and you can see the heat as you're stirring it. The heat from the original first half that's already been melted is already breaking down this chocolate and melting it up. So another reason you want to use dark chocolate versus non-dark milk chocolate is the added sugar. There's not much in dark chocolate. Plus, it's healthier, right? Dark chocolate has a lot more antioxidants. Milk chocolate has almost zero. And the higher the cocoa content in the dark chocolate, the higher the antioxidants. You're getting the best of both worlds. Okay, the chocolate's completely melted, as you can see here. Now we're gonna turn the fire off. Not gonna get rid of the water yet, because if we need to reheat this to make it nice and liquidy again, we can. And the water is still maintained. You can see the steam still coming up, right? Oh, that looks fantastic, just coming over the chocolate. Okay. Let's just get all this chocolate down into this corner of the pan as we tilt it at an angle. And you can see, just stick this here for now. Take it, dip it.
Handle the macaroons with care. You don't want to ruin their shape. And when dipping, be sure to let any extra chocolate drip off. Otherwise, it'll take longer to cool, which means you gotta wait longer to eat them.
You can dip these however you want, you know what I mean? You can add a lot of chocolate, a little chocolate, go halfway. Now, depending on the ambient room temperature in your place, you're gonna let it cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't stick them in the fridge unless you really want them to chill up pretty fast, but if you do that, the cookies might dry out, right? 5 to 10 minutes, then they're good.